Hi friends, welcome back to Merstack Adapted Training Sessions. So this session is a continuation of last session. So please go through those last sessions. I'll add those links below in the description. So in the last session, let me recap. We passed that employee ID as a body, okay? And then we use that ID value. We actually retrieved the ID value from the request and then used database source to use that value in the where clause and then retrieve the data and then respond XML data back to the users. So in this session, I'm trying to use that ID value and then trying to send that ID value as a query parameter or a header parameter while invoking the REST API. Okay, so we'll see those both scenarios. So I've created two separate process flow to explain that. So we'll explain that in step-by-step way. So since we are not passing any body from the client now, so we don't need any context source now. So let me show you that old use case where if you see this is a REST a context source, then we have retrieved the ID, then we use the database source, and then finally we use the context target to send the data back as it is, whatever we are retrieved from the database source. So in this use case, so we'll get the data. So whenever we pass any query parameter or header parameter in case of Adaptia, those values or parameters will automatically get converted in the context variable. So those values will be available throughout the process flow. So I can use that value, and since it is a context variable in my database source, and we know how to retrieve the context, variable value in the database. So sorry, any activity. So this is that parameter, whether it can be a header or query. So we need to use the same name in that query or header section. So once it is a context variable, we can use it in the where clause this way, and then we can trigger this query. Okay, so it will return the data for this particular value. So that's it. This is the old. We have not created newly. Okay, so let's go back to the process flow again. So since we said like this database source will return the XML data, and I don't want to send that XML data as it is to the user, I want to convert it into a JSON and then send it back to users. So converting data into XML from XML to JSON, there are two ways we can do it in Adaptia. Either we can write a Java code or we can use the data mapper. So I use both the approach to demo. So so here I use the data mapper. Let me show you how the data mapper looks. So so the data mapper takes the output of the database source, which is the database schema. Okay, so same database schema I'm using it. You can load it from here. You can go to the advanced database section, and then you can see it here. You choose the source section, and in the JSON, I'll show you how the JSON I am expecting. So this is way I'm expecting the JSON's output from the API. Okay, so I have created the schema for this. So we know how to create the schema, JSON schema. We need to go to this section. We already created the advanced database. Now we are going to create the JSON. So if you go to this section, give name, description, choose the file, which I have shown in the Notepad++. That is the JSON file. Once you select it, your schema is ready. So that schema will be using in this data mapper. So if you go to the JSON section now, this modified DB response, you can select it in the target side. Once you select, you'll get left side database source schema, and right side our uh, modified JSON schema. Okay, you can directly map these values here. And one more thing we need to do is you need to click on this employee. Okay, and then you need to choose the for each option and drag this guy here. Okay, so if you double click on this activity, it will automatically comes here, because this node is the recursive node in the database output. Okay, so this data mapper, you can use it for one value also, for one record also, and multiple record also. It will work for both scenarios. So once you're done with the data mapper, that means you're able to convert that data mapper database output from XML to JSON. But the problem is still if you go through my all the sessions, I told like the default data format for Adaptia Suite is XML. So even if you're converted into JSON schema, JSON format, it generates the XML stream only. To convert that XML stream to JSON stream, we need a schema, which is used in the data mapper. Same schema, we'll use it here. So it will convert that stream, and we need to use the option here. If you see, there are options available from stream to XML, from XML to stream. So this XML we are converting into a stream, JSON stream. So we'll choose the second option, which is XML to stream. Okay, and then after that, it will convert it into JSON stream, and that JSON stream I'm assigning to a context target. If you see, this is the variable which will hold that output, okay, JSON output. And this variable will be using in the provider to send it back to the user. Okay. Few more things I wanted to add it here. So let's say when we are converting, right? If there are data errors, you won't receive any data from the from the database source. Then you can abort the flow. So there are options here. You can add those records to a file, or you can abort directly, or you can say ignore or process. Okay, so there are options available, but I choose abort option. Same, you can choose it here. What you want to do with if this data mapper won't return the JSON data. So either you want to, so this is like a validation. Okay, validation point of view, you can add these options. Few more things you can add retry policy here. You can say that 3 times retry if there is a, if any connection issues or database is down, or your adapter is not able to connect a database, you can add the retention retry policy. So I'm saying 3 times with the interval of 3 seconds each retry. You can configure anyway based on your company policies. You can configure this. Okay. Okay, so let's see how we can expose this process flow as API. So let's go here. We'll go to the services section, web services section. Here you need to create the provider. Okay, so since I have already created, let me explain this. So give a name, description, choose the REST option because we're exposing as a REST API. This option is optional. You need to pass the resource path properly, give a meaningful resource path name. And then you need to choose the use case implementation, which is a process flow. And since we are not passing any body from the client, so we are not using post method, we are using get method here. And you can see it here. This is the value I'm passing as a header now. And I give default value as 0. Here there are 2 options. We can pass it as a query and header. We'll see both options. So right now I'm seeing the header. And then we are seeing that JSON will be a response. So once it's JSON, it will ask for the schema. So same schema we are using, which we are using the data mapper and the process flow. Same schema. Okay. So that's all. Your provider is ready. Let's see how we can invoke it. Okay. Before that, we'll see how the endpoint looks. Okay. So endpoints, if you see, this is like looks like similar, which we have seen the last use case. But let me invoke this API through API doc, and next one will invoke through REST client. Okay. So if you see now, you have got change. Now we don't have post method here. That's the reason there is no body here. And this parameter is the header parameter now. Okay. So let me pass this value. Pass it 23. So for 23, we have data missing. Okay. Let's quickly go to the monitor section and see whether this ID is converted into, or this ID is created as a context variable or not. Okay. So so we have invoked just now this one. So if you see the context variable now, see, this is what it's created now, 23. Okay. Yeah. So this value will be used in the database source, and then database source will return data from the database. Okay. Let's see the same use case with the query parameter now. Okay. So query parameter, again, that query parameter will be converted into context variable, and that will get used in the database source. This database source will return the XML data. And as I said, we can convert this XML data in 2 ways. Either we can write a Java code, or we can use the data mapper. So data mapper scenario we have seen already. Now we'll see how we can write a Java code. And once you have Java code, how to inject that Java code in process flow, that we know, right? So let me show the Java code first. I have that. So this is Java code, which takes the input stream and then it writes to a string builder and then converts that string builder into a JSON object. Okay, and then JSON object part pass to the output stream. This is how we can generate the stream from the custom plugin service.write, and the service is the inbuilt system variable. Okay, so we can read output stream from, I mean, input stream while service.read, and we can write it by using write method. Okay, so this custom plugin will take the XML stream and generates the JSON stream. So if you see here closely, we don't need to convert that stream again into a JSON stream since it's already giving a JSON stream. And then finally, we have REST response variable, which holds this value and then give it back to a user. Okay. Yeah. So let's see how we can expose this as a RESTful web service again. So I have created a web service provider for this. Again, same thing. We need to pass the resource path properly. We need to use the use case implementation. And then if you see this get method, I'm passing ID value, but this time I'm passing a query. This time it's not a header. Okay. So your web service provider is ready. Let's see how we can see it in Adaptive, I mean API doc, but I don't want to go hit here. Let's see the URL now. See, this is a query parameter here. Okay. So let me invoke this use case from REST client, which is a Postman. If you see here, this is the URL which we are passing, and then we are not passing anything, any authorization, header, nothing. We are passing only ID. Let me pass it here, 23. Okay. So, and hit the send button. Now you can see that we are seeing the Mahi data here from the database. And if you notice, whatever is there from the database source as it is converted into a JSON. Okay. So let me recap what we have covered in this session. So we know we have seen how to pass the query parameter, how to pass the header parameter while invoking the REST API. We have seen how to convert the input XML data into JSON by using Java code and the data mapper. And then we have seen how these variables, let me show you again quickly to the, so let's go to the monitor section. And this time we invoke query parameter, right? We can go to the, you can see the repository files here, whether the JSON, we are able to see the JSON or not. Yes, it's converting to JSON. This is what we are getting it from the database XML. Okay. Let me go to the context information section. Here you can see that it's converting, I mean, that parameter is becoming a context variable. So let's change the value and see whether it's converting or not. You can see that all the Revit data is coming. Let's go to the quickly here, process flow. Here, query parameter. Let's go to the repository file. You can see now data is changed. Let's go to the context information. Now see ID value is changed. Okay, so and yeah, so that is what we have seen, how we can convert the XML data into the JSON data. We have seen how those variables are getting converted into context variable, and then we have seen, so we one more thing, we have not added any security policy on the web service provider, but we know in the last session we have covered that, how to generate the API keys, how to create security policies and apply on the web service provider. Okay, so I think we have we are good on the REST API part. Okay, so how to pass the body, how to pass query parameter, how to pass header parameters, and how to secure this web service provider. Okay, so that's all from this session. Hope you liked it. Please share with the friends. If you're not subscribe the channel, please subscribe the channel, and see you in the sessions, coming sessions. Bye bye.